Good morning. I am Drill Sergeant Leader Andrew Yost, your Master of Ceremony. We would like to extend a warm welcome to Chief Warrant Officer 5 Kevin Sims, Command Sergeant Major Raymond Palazzo, and Command Sergeant Major Thomas Roldan, distinguished guests, families, and friends to the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy graduation ceremony for Class 012-25.
Immortals, 10,000 strong!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party, the invocation given by Chaplain Jackson, and the playing of our national anthem.
Please. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this great day and for the occasion that we gather. We also thank you for all that have made this graduation day a reality. We now ask your blessings on these graduates as they walk across this stage this morning and into a new chapter of their lives as one of many in a long line of professions who have answered the call to become United States Army Drill Sergeants. We ask that you will grant them the strength and endurance to do the job they have been trained to do. We ask you grant them courage to be men and women of integrity in all they say and do. And we ask that you grant them wisdom as they lead the next generation of America's sons and daughters to become American soldiers. We also thank you for the families and friends gathered here this morning supporting their loved ones. Be with us today as we celebrate a milestone in the lives of these new drill sergeants and bless them as they embark on this new journey. For it is in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Since 1964, drill sergeants have been responsible for training our Army's volunteer fighting force. Fort Jackson is home to the only Drill Sergeant Academy in our Army and is responsible for providing drill sergeants to every training center across the initial military training enterprise. Since its inception, the purpose of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Program is to transform non-commissioned officers into drill sergeants who, in turn, have the responsibility to transform civilians into soldiers, our national treasure. Thousands of American young men and women who have volunteered to answer the call of a grateful nation. The job of the drill sergeant is one of a professional trainer, coach, mentor, and leader. This is not an easy or a simple job, and it comes with sacrifices that each drill sergeant must make in order to perform this extremely important mission. Those who are graduating today will spend the next 2 to 3 years on the trail, training the next generation of our Army. The phrase, "on the trail," comes from the frontier days when cattle were driven from California to Colorado to be marketed. The original drill sergeants coined this phrase because of the similar process of moving soldiers from one place to another with few problems or loss along the way. There is a continued effort to move drill sergeants to that high degree of excellence and expertise for which they are known. The drill sergeant course is both stressful and challenging. The 9 weeks of training are broken down into 12-hour days, adding up to 446 hours of instruction. This training is a privilege reserved for the best of the best. Only the top 10% of all sergeants, Army-wide, are eligible to attend the drill sergeant course. Not all sergeants complete this difficult period of training. On April 16, 2025, 128 candidates arrived. During the course, 40 sergeants were removed for various reasons, with 2 being inserted, resulting in the 90 that are graduating here today. Those graduating represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit drill sergeants who exemplify the drill sergeant creed. All 90 drill sergeants truly are the proud example of our Army and will undoubtedly transform the next generation of civilian volunteers into soldiers that are fully capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, identified by their distinctive headgear and pistol belt are the drill sergeant leaders responsible for having trained and mentored today's graduating class. Drill sergeant leaders instruct the course in small groups of 20 candidates on average. They are highly motivated, professional, and seasoned drill sergeants who have a minimum of 1 year experience in the initial entry training environment from any of the 4 training centers and advanced individual training locations. They were hand-selected to serve as drill sergeant leaders as a result of demonstrating expert leadership, mastery of warrior tasks and battle drills, and consistently performing at the top 1% of their peers. In addition, all have completed the TRADOC Drill Sergeant Leader Certification Program. Please join me in a round of applause for their hard work and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, Command Sergeant Major Joshua R. Vidal.
Good morning. Command Sergeant Major Roldan, Command Sergeant Major Colazzo, distinguished guests, families, and friends, thanks for joining us today for the Drill Sergeant Academy graduation ceremony for Class 01225. From the attendance today, it is clear these drill sergeants have amazing families and friends supporting them. What a great day to be a soldier. Even better day to be here surrounded by the future of the United States Army, represented by these brand new drill sergeants graduating here today. The fact that the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy is the gold standard for NCO development and cadre certification is clearly on display today. My name is Command Sergeant Major Josh Vidal. I am the Commandant, proudly serving alongside the most highly motivated, well-trained drill sergeants in the United States Army. A drill sergeant is the standard bearer for the United States Army and the very epitome of what we expect of a soldier. They live the Army values, exemplify the war ethos, and are guardians of the Army profession. Drill sergeants are responsible for coaching, teaching, motivating, inspiring, and mentoring the future of the Army as they transform civilians to combat-ready soldiers. A typical day as a drill sergeant starts before dawn, ends well after sundown. Drill sergeants are the first impression for every trainee and all that they know of the Army. Drill sergeants, make no mistake, they will emulate you. Being a drill sergeant is one of the most demanding and difficult jobs in our Army, one one of the most difficult jobs you'll ever have, it is also one of the most rewarding. How critical a drill sergeant is to our Army cannot be overstated, nor can the sacred trust that is being bestowed on you today. American families across this great land entrust you with the most important thing in their lives, their children. The future of America is being placed in your care for the most formative time in their Army careers, certainly, but I would also say their lives. Your impact will last a lifetime. Just as you remember your drill sergeants, so will the soldiers you train remember you. Staff Sergeant Ronnie Bush and Sergeant First Class Roderick McContrell, if you were wondering who my drill sergeants were. Will you be remembered for how you invested in them, believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves, always enforced the standard and challenged them to keep going? Or will you be remembered for something else? Class 01225, congratulations on accomplishing this daunting challenge. You met or exceeded every standard. You surmounted every obstacle. But the challenge is just beginning. Enjoy the time between now and when you report. Take time to reflect on the challenge that lies ahead and what you hope to achieve. There will be times when you are tired, hot, cold, hungry, and more. Look to your battle buddies during those times and spur one another along. Your experience as a drill sergeant will be directly impacted by the battle buddies you have and are. The task is great. You are charged with nothing less than training tomorrow's leaders. The Army, the country, and the Constitution are depending on you. Today's guest speaker is a 239 Infantry Battalion Command Sergeant Major. He completed one station unit training in 2004 as an 11 Bravo from the home of infantry. He has held every leadership position from team leader to his present assignment as a Command Sergeant Major for the Future Soldier Prep Force. The long list of assignments in numerous organizations demonstrate his exceptional performance, character, and stewardship of the profession. Please join me in welcoming Command Sergeant Major Ray Collazo.
I'm a little short, so bear with me. So, to our Commandant, Command Sergeant Major Bidle, thank you for those kind words. First Sergeant Fernandez, Senior Drill Sergeant Campisi, your leadership from getting to know you has been amazing, so I thank you very much. Drill Sergeant leaders, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates of 6th Platoon, good morning. So before I get started, can everyone join me in a round of applause to this amazing graduating class? So when an invite was sent to me to come speak at today's graduation, my first thought was, what advice can I give to today's graduating class of newly minted drill sergeants that is relevant today, that was relevant 17 years ago when I was sitting in that very same seat you're sitting in today? And the message is simple. Enjoy the ride and have fun. This journey you are about to enter will shape you in a way that will highlight a milestone in your military career, and I would even say your life. You are not only a standard bearer, but you are also a coach, a teacher, a mentor, things that we do every day for our future soldiers. I want to keep this speech as simple as possible and direct by offering you 3 key words that will help remind you about our profession, but also drive the vehicle as a successful drill sergeant. These key words are what the Army would still call the 3 C's of our Army profession, and that's character, competence, and commitment. So the Army's definition of character is an Army's professional's dedication and adherence to Army values and ethic as consistently and faithfully demonstrated in decisions and actions. So my message to you is to follow your drill sergeant creed. Having good character rooted through your Army values, But the last 2 months learning through your drill sergeant leaders have also shaped you to build upon your good character and leadership and identity character flaws in others, which leads me to competence. The Army's definition of competence is demonstrated ability to successfully perform their duties and to accomplish the mission with discipline and to standard. My message to you, practice the basics. These future soldiers depend on you to know and be the expert in the basics, and it starts by you caring. Being a caring leader will allow you to ask your peers questions on your training environment. Many of you come from different walks of life, but have embodied our learning environment in the Army. Many of you have also come from different walks of life in your Army career field, but I will remind you on this. The civilians you are charged with in developing into soldiers expect you to know the basics. Put these basics into operation and hold them accountable by continuous practice until they're experts themselves. And that goes to your peers to the left and right of you, holding each other accountable. Keep it simple by remembering first impressions mean everything. And drill and ceremony, which is a lost art, it is the foundation to the start of true discipline. The last C is commitment. The Army's definition of commitment is the resolve of Army professionals to contribute honorable service to the nation, to perform their duties with discipline and the standards, and to strive to successfully and ethically accomplish the mission despite adversity, obstacles, and challenge. My message is to remember your passion. Remember that you as a drill sergeant walking across this stage today are expected to uphold our Army values, teach, coach, and mentor all soldiers, to include your peers and sometimes superiors. And always remember you will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task you will not do yourself. I really want to take this moment to thank all of your loved ones sitting here today and the ones watching on live. Thank you for your support. Your network watching back at home or sitting here with us is tremendous. Your drill sergeants are going to definitely need it. Your drill sergeants will work long hours developing tomorrow's future. They have an important and heavy task for the next 2 to 3 years. And as senior leaders, we cannot thank you all enough for your continuous support. So once again, to our new drill sergeants, enjoy the ride, have fun, because when you look back at your journey, you will have influenced thousands of soldiers wanting to be a drill sergeant just like you, because you inspire others to be a true Army professional every day. Character, competence, and commitment. This will defend, and victory starts here. Thank you.
The Drill Sergeant Academy would like to recognize the staff and training supporters of the cycle for their exceptional professionalism and dedication to excellence in support of the unit's total mission. Presenting the Supporter Awards is Deputy Senior Drill Sergeant Leader Stephen Williams. The staff supporter of the cycle is Staff Sergeant Natasha Foley-Love. The training supporter of the cycle is Sergeant First Class Philip Pearson. Their behind-the-scenes attention to detail kept training on track with limited distractions. Please join me in one more round of applause for the supporter awardees. Drill and ceremony is the basis for standards and discipline in the initial entry training environment. During the course, the drill sergeant candidates are instructed and assessed on their ability to perform and teach drill and ceremony positions and movements, culminating with a drill and ceremony competition. The squad that displayed the highest level of proficiency is awarded the drill and ceremony trophy to be displayed until the following cycle. For Class 012-25, the drill and ceremony competition winner is 6th Platoon, 4th Squad, who was led by Drill Sergeant Austin Ochoa. Please join me in a round of applause for the winning squad of the drill and ceremony competition. At the Drill Sergeant Academy, it is tradition to appropriately recognize those who distinguish themselves by their outstanding performance. In keeping with this tradition, the following awards are presented. The Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle is the Drill Sergeant Leader who displayed the highest contribution to the entire platoon, created an impeccable learning environment, and displayed a standard for all graduating drill sergeants to follow. For Class 012-25, the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle is Drill Sergeant Leader Tremaine Reeves. At this time, First Command will present the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle with a gift for Outstanding Leader.
On behalf of First Command, congratulations and well done on your accomplishment as Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle.
At this time, the Commandant of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, Command Sergeant Major Joshua R. Beidel, will present the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle with the Commandant's coin for their outstanding leadership. Senior Drill Sergeant Leader Mark Campisi will now present the graduating class their distinctive headgear. Please hold your applause and cheering until the awardees have been acknowledged. The Leadership Award is presented to the candidate who displayed the highest degree of professionalism and demonstrated sound judgment while performing in leadership positions. The Leadership Award recipient and member of the Commandant's List is Drill Sergeant Russell Jolly, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. The Iron Drill Sergeant Award is given to the candidate who displayed the highest degree of physical fitness during the Iron Drill Sergeant Fitness Test. The Iron Drill Sergeant Award recipient is Drill Sergeant Joshua Eggleston, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, with a score of 591. Each awardee will receive a token for exceeding the standards while in the course. Please join me in a round of applause for the awardees. The following drill sergeants exceeded course standards, demonstrated exceptional physical fitness, and maintained a grade point average in the top 20% of their graduating class. For these achievements, they are rightfully placed on the Commandant's List. Drill Sergeant Zachary Clayson, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Jacob Dement, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Ulysses Grand, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Please join me in a round of applause for the Commandant's List. Ladies and gentlemen, the following drill sergeants are graduates of Class 012-25. Please hold your applause and cheering until the last drill sergeant is acknowledged.
Drill Sergeant Jonathan Adorno, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Joseph Paul, Fort Great Adams, Virginia. Drill Sergeant Brett Blake, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Trevor Lloyd, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Daniel Burnside, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Aaron Campernero, Runaway Training Command. Drill Sergeant Tom Casella, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Warland Chan, Presidio, Monterey, California. Drill Sergeant Joshua Glenn, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Drill Sergeant Ashley Cole, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Shaquille Collins, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Anthony Cotton, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Let's go. Drill Sergeant Skylar Crawford, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Jeffrey Criswell, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Paulo de Jesus, Brasil.
Drill Sergeant Priscilla Dodge, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Matthew Dowling, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Noah Edmonds, Fort Greg Adams, Virginia. Drill Sergeant Rich Keller, Ethiopia. Sergeant Caleb Gray, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Kevin Gray, Fort Eisenhower, Georgia. Drill Sergeant John Hardiman, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Raymond Harvey, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Sierra Hawkins, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Joshua Hefner, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Austin Holbert, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Alex Jacobs, Wichita, Kansas.
Drill Sergeant Maya Johnson, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Yeah, Maya. That's my girl.
Drill Sergeant Zachary Jordan, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Scott Kelly, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Tyler Kerr, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Caleb Kester, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant David Lang, Fort Van Adams, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Ian Leba, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Andrew Mann, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Tristan Mason, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Alan Matthews, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Scott Maxey, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Daniel McKinney, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Augustine Mendoza, 108 Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Stefan Mosley, Fort
Drill Sergeant Chris Neverby, Joint Expeditionary Base, Little Creek, Fort Story, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Austin Ochoa, Fort Leonard, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Baron Checo, Runaway Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Brett Padell, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Serena Perez, Fort Leonard, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Samantha Perez Luna, Fort Leonard, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Henry Pettis Ortiz, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Derek Pupaley, Fort Bragg Adams, Virginia. Drill Sergeant Dexter Pinkett, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Wade Plummer, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Agenor Pomales, Fort Allen, Puerto Rico.
Drill Sergeant Jasmine Quick, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant David Ramirez, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Lane Ray, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Kelvin Reinhardt, Fort Leonard, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Theo Robinson, Fort Leonard, Missouri.
Woo-hoo! Go Rob!
Drill Sergeant Christian Rodriguez, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Kelsey Rodriguez, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Dustin Rowan, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Abraham Ruiz, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Ulysses Sanchez, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Tyler Shoneman, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Sidney Show, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Cole Sherlmite, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Mason Scott, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Terry Chan, Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Drill Sergeant Kevin Sims, Fort Leavenwood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Ridiculous Senapoxy, Fort Leonard, Missouri.
Hell yeah, sister.
Drill Sergeant Jordan Smith, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant David Steen, Fort Leonard, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Owen Spire, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Jonathan Sim, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant William Searle, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Trevor Swain, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Alexander Thomas, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Andres Vasquez, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Todd Zell, 108 Training Command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the United States Army's newest drill sergeant. At this time, Leadership Awardee, Drill Sergeant Russell Jolly, will present a token of appreciation to our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Raymond Palazzo.
Sergeant Major, on behalf of class 012-25, please accept this token of appreciation and your kind words of wisdom.
You have become what you set out to be, a drill sergeant in the United States Army. The Drill Sergeant Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and continues to guarantee. At this time, drill sergeants, past and present, please stand as the drill sergeant leader of the cycle, Drill Sergeant Leader Tremaine Reeves, leads the graduating class in reciting the Drill Sergeant Creed. The Drill Sergeant Creed is not a creed for every non-commissioned officer in the Army. The honor and privilege is given to these non-commissioned officers to transform America's sons and daughters from civilians to soldiers to fight and win the wars of this great nation.
Hash! Help! Defend! I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standards of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I will not do myself. But first, last, and always, I am an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated as the drill sergeants of class 012-25 exit the building. You will be able to join them shortly.
Just leaders, you gotta do it my way.
My way or the highway.
My way or the highway.
My way or the long, long highway.
My way or the long, long highway.
My way's the right way, your way's the wrong way.
My way's the right way, your way's the wrong way.
Just the other day I heard a black hat say,
Just the other day I heard a black hat say,
you wanna be airborne, you gotta do it my way.
you wanna be airborne, you gotta do it my way.
My way or the highway.
My way or the highway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4.
Take two, leads the way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4.
Take two, leads the way.
That's where the pair.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our graduation ceremony. On behalf of the Commandant and Cadre of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy and the graduating class, we thank you for your attendance.